Hi, my name is Shruthi Sankar, and I'll be narrating the story A Bell for Ursli, written by Selena Chance. High in the Swiss mountains lies a sleepy valley, and in that valley stood a small, peaceful village. The houses were old and crooked, but cozy and warm. At the end of the street, a little boy named Ursli lived with his mother and father. Ursli was dressed from head to toe in warm winter clothing that his mother had sewn for him. Every day, Ursli would help his mom by getting pails of water from the village fountain, and then would go help his dad with the animals. He'd tend to the cows, clean their sheds, and then would go milk the goats. After all his work were done, he'd go to the village and meet the other village boys. Wait, tomorrow is the procession of bells, and all the boys in the village will ring their bells noisily, ding, 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 and welcome in the warmth of spring and say goodbye to the winter snows. The boy with the biggest cowbell will lead the procession, and the others will follow behind, with the youngest at the end carrying a little tiny calf bell. So the boys decide to go to Uncle John's farmhouse, since he has the biggest collection of cowbells in the entire village. The boys all push and shout to get the best bell, but Ursli is last of all and ends up with a teeny tiny little bell. Ursli sits alone with his head in his hands, wondering what to do. He doesn't want to be at the back of the procession this year. He wants to be in the front! Suddenly, Ursli remembers. In their summer hut, high in the mountains, hangs the biggest bell Ursli has ever seen. That's it. He'll borrow the bell and be this year's leader. Ursli sets off through the forest, up rickety and wobbly bridges and steep mountain paths, excited about the bell that awaits him. But as Ursli climbed higher and higher, his path started to become harder and harder. Soon the slushy melting snow reached his knees, and Ursli started to worry. What if the bell isn't there? What if he couldn't make it in time? About to lose all hope, Ursli spotted the summer hut in the distance. But he'd forgotten that his father has the key and the door was locked firmly shut. Then Ursli spied a small gap through the window, and he forced it open and managed to squeeze inside. And there it was. The bell hung. It was heavy and round. It had a flowery belt and a golden clasp. And best of all, it had the loudest, clearest ring Ursli had ever heard. Ding, ding, ding! Hungry after his long walk, Ursli looked around for a loaf of bread, and then he ate it and fell for a deep and dreamless sleep. Back in the village, darkness fell and the stars twinkled, but Ursli had still not come home. His parents searched high and low through the entire village, knocking on every single door, but he was nowhere to be found. The sun rised over the clear blue sky. Ursli got up, rubbed his eyes, and remembered that he needs to go home as soon as possible. His parents would be worried. He grabbed the bell and slid and crunched his way down the village. He came to the carved wooden door of their house and knocked excitedly until he heard footsteps on the other side. "Where have you been?" his mother exclaimed. Ursli hugged her tightly, but there's no time to explain. The procession of the bells is about to start. And here comes the boys, ringing their cowbells noisily, welcoming in the warmth of spring. And who has the biggest and loudest cowbell of all? Ursli leads the procession in a merry march throughout the village and around the village fountain, until they are sure that the winter is long gone for another year. The entire village laughs and eats as they see the spring buds grow over the melting snow. And that's the story of Ursli, the end. Thank you for listening.